Okay, so here, as we agreed, we have two variables. The first step in our program, the first part, is to declare the variables. How can I declare a variable? To declare a variable, I said I have two variables. They are both float, the hourly wage and the salary. So I will say float, hour, and float, salary. So this is called declaration. What's the meaning of declaration? I'm declaring to the compiler that I have two variables here. They are both float. Then the next step is the input part. After declaration, the input part. I would like to ask user to enter this hourly wage. So I will say system, as we said last week, system.output.print to ask the user to enter the hourly wages. Then I will say hour equal S. What is S? Is a scanner we talked about last week. You remember? It's a scanner object I declared. S dot what? Dot next. Sorry. Dot next what? Next integer? No. It's float here. So I will say next float. If I declared hour as integer, here I will say s dot next integer. But as I declared hour as float, I will say x dot next float. So now I have hour here. The user entered to me. I would like to calculate the salary, right? Which is equal what? 160 multiplied by the hour. Then I would like to output to the user the result. So I'm saying again system.output.print something like the result or the salary is plus salary. So just a second here. In this program I have four different parts. The first part, which is this one, it's called the declaration part. I'm declaring to the compiler the variables. The second part is called the input part. Here's the input part where I'm asking from the user to input something. The third part is the calculation or the processing part. And the final one is the output part. So I have the input, processing, and output, and preceding that I'm declaring. If I run this program here, the compiler will tell me how enter the hourly wage. For example, I say it's 20, and I click enter. It tells me the salary is 3,000. It multiplies the 20 per 100. As you can see, there's no spaces here. If I just put a space here, right here, to be really, I can see that and run again. What's the hourly wage? 10. It will be 106,600. Okay, so how can I do that? Again, any problem, translate it to equation, then I calculate how many variables I need, then I calculate the types of the variables that I have, then I decide how can I work with this variable, assignment or accepting from user. Okay, so if I would like here to play something with the variables, for example, I will change this one from float to integer. Are you with me? I'm changing this one from float to integer. And I'm accepting it as float. If I run that, it will see this is not correct because you are declaring hour as integer and you ask it to accept it as float. Okay? What type of error is this one? Syntax or logic? Syntax, because it violates the rules. For example, if I define this one as double, double is still float, but I am accepting it as here as float. If I run that, we'll say no. And if I just change this one as integer and change this one as integer. Am I okay now? But beware, integer I is capital. Am I okay now or not? Okay or not? Okay, because this one is integer, I'm accepting it as integer. When I run, it will tell me enter the hourly wage. What happened if I said 3.5? No, because you are saying it's integer and you're accepting it as integer. How can you put 3.5? So there's error here. Okay? And